Michael Jones pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter Friday in the death of Atlanta rapper Trouble. Jones initially faced several charges, including malice and felony murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm and commission of a crime.
Love turned into murder. Passion became a death sentence. In the ruthless world of hip-hop, where street credibility and raw emotion fuel the music, some of the most talented black rappers didn't die from gang violence or street beef. They were killed by the very women they loved. From a jealous girlfriend plunging a knife into Flabba's chest on his own birthday, to PNB Rock being gunned down after his girlfriend's innocent Instagram post, to a young drill artist shot by his own baby mama while their child slept nearby. 13 heartbreaking cases, 13 rising voices silenced forever, not by the streets, but by the person sleeping right beside them. Jealousy, betrayal, rage, and in some cases, cold-blooded murder. Tonight, we're exposing the most shocking, disturbing, and tragic stories of rappers who lost their lives at the hands of their own girlfriends and wives. Some of these cases will leave you speechless, some will break your heart. 1. Flabba, stabbed by his girlfriend in a jealous rage. In the vibrant streets of South Africa's hip-hop scene, where beats once pulsed with life and ambition, one story cuts deeper than any knife. Today, we begin our journey into the heartbreaking tragedies that claimed the lives of talented rappers, men whose voices still echo even after love turned deadly. Number 1 on this list of pain and betrayal, Flabba. Nkululeko Flabba Habedi was a shining star in South African hip-hop. As a core member of the legendary group Squatta Camp, he delivered raw, energetic tracks that captured the struggles and dreams of township life in the 2000s and 2010s. His charismatic flow and powerful stage presence made him a household name, a voice for the people who saw in him both talent and hope. Behind the spotlight, Flabba was a father who loved his children deeply. He lived in Alexandra Township, a place full of energy but also hardship. Like many artists, his personal life was filled with passionate relationships and occasional drama. On March 9, 2015, everything changed forever during what should have been a joyful birthday celebration. That night, Flabba was at home with his 26-year-old girlfriend, Sindisiwe Precious Mankele. Witnesses described an argument that quickly spiraled out of control. Sindisiwe became consumed by jealousy after seeing Flabba speaking with an ex. Emotions ran high, voices rose, and in a moment of explosive rage, she grabbed a knife and stabbed him once in the chest. The wound was fatal. Flabba was only 38 years old. Imagine the chaos, the sudden silence after the scream, the panic as loved ones realized what had happened. A promising career, a father's love, a man full of future plans, all ended in one tragic, irreversible act driven by jealousy. Sindisiwe was convicted of premeditated murder and sentenced to 12 years in prison. She was later granted parole under specific conditions, but nothing can bring Flabba back.
To impose the following sentence on you. You are hereby sentenced to a period of 12 years imprisonment.
His death sent shockwaves through the South African music community. Fans mourned not just the artist, but the human being whose light was extinguished too soon. In the end, Flabba's story reminds us how quickly passion can turn into pain and how fragile life becomes when love loses its way. 2. Johnny May Cash, shot by his girlfriend in a domestic altercation. From the gritty drill scene of Chicago, where survival and ambition walk hand in hand, comes another story that breaks the heart. These streets have produced raw talent, but they have also claimed many souls. Let's move to number 2, a young drill artist whose life ended in the very place he should have felt safest, Johnny May Cash. Tyrone Pittman, known to the world as Johnny May Cash, was emerging as a force in Chicago's drill movement. As the brother of renowned producer Young Chop, who collaborated with Chief Keef, he carried real street credibility and family legacy in his music. His tracks reflected the harsh realities of life in the city, earning him respect in underground circles. Yet behind the tough image was a man entangled in turbulent personal relationships. He had faced multiple domestic violence allegations in the past. On April 17, 2022, in his Bronzeville home, a heated argument with his girlfriend Brianna Gibbs turned deadly. According to court documents, the dispute escalated physically. Brianna claimed Johnny struck her repeatedly and pulled her hair. In the chaos, his gun reportedly fell. She picked it up and fired in what she described as self-defense. Johnny May Cash was pronounced dead at the scene. He was only 27 years old. Picture the fear, the raised voices echoing through the apartment, the sudden deafening shot that changed everything. A promising young voice in drill music, a brother, a son, gone in a moment fueled by anger and pain. Brianna Gibbs was charged with first-degree murder but maintained her claim of self-defense, citing past abuse. The case highlighted the complex and heartbreaking cycle of domestic conflict that too many artists face. Johnny's death left his family devastated, and the Chicago drill community mourning another lost talent. His story is a painful reminder that sometimes the biggest battles artists fight are not on the streets, but inside the walls of their own homes, where love and danger can become tragically intertwined. 3. Trouble, caught in the crossfire of jealousy. Atlanta, the heart of modern trap and hip-hop, has given the world countless stars. But success often comes with hidden dangers. Our third story takes us into the shadows of jealousy and wrong-placed timing, a rising voice silenced far too early. This is the tragic end of Trouble. Marielle Semonte Orr, known professionally as Trouble, was a talented Atlanta rapper signed to Def Jam. With his authentic storytelling and streetwise delivery, he built a loyal underground following and was poised for even greater success. A father who cared deeply for his children, Trouble lived a life full of relationships and the complexities that come with fame. On June 5, 2022, he was visiting a female friend, Rissa Royce, at her apartment. What should have been a quiet evening turned into horror when Royce's ex-boyfriend, Jamichael Jones, arrived consumed by jealousy. According to police reports and the arrest warrant, Jones forced his way in, assaulted Royce, and upon discovering Trouble there, a confrontation erupted. Jones fired, striking Trouble in the chest. The rapper was rushed to the hospital but could not be saved. He was just 34 years old. Close your eyes and imagine the sudden intrusion, the panic in the room, the desperate scramble, and the final gunshot that stole a father from his kids and a talented artist from his fans. Trouble was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, caught in someone else's storm of jealousy. Jones was later charged in connection with the murder. Trouble's ex-girlfriend Alexis Skye publicly mourned him, expressing the pain felt by so many. His death was a stark reminder of how fragile peace can be and how quickly personal entanglements can lead to irreversible loss. In the Atlanta hip-hop community, his voice is remembered with both love and sorrow, a bright light extinguished in a moment of someone else's rage. 4. Lil Loaded, heartbroken to death after betrayal. Some wounds aren't caused by bullets from the streets, they come from the people closest to us. In the raw world of Dallas drill, where young voices rise fast and fall even faster, we come to number 4, a rising star whose pain became too heavy to carry. This is the tragic story of Lil Loaded. Deshaun Robertson, known as Lil Loaded, exploded onto the scene as one of Dallas's most promising drill artists. His viral tracks captured the energy and struggles of street life, earning him millions of views and a dedicated following almost overnight. At just 20 years old, he had the world at his feet, or so it seemed. But behind the success, Loaded battled heavy mental health struggles and was on house arrest following earlier legal troubles. Those closest to him say his greatest weakness was his heart. He was deeply in love with a woman named Kendria. Friends later revealed that she had betrayed him in the worst way, cheating with one of his closest friends. The devastating proof came through screenshots. According to his inner circle and statements from his mother, Loaded received the messages showing the betrayal. The pain hit like a wave. He reportedly told friends he couldn't take it anymore. On May 31, 2021, his mother found him in their Cedar Hill home with a fatal gunshot wound. Police ruled it a suicide. Think about the Rahim moment. A mother discovered her son had chosen to end his pain. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed the betrayal was the final trigger that pushed him over the edge. His friend Sirac posted emotional messages blaming that girl saying Loaded had been talking about the cheating just weeks earlier. The internet exploded with shock and sorrow. Lil Loaded's death became a painful symbol of how mental health battles, combined with deep romantic betrayal, can silently destroy even the brightest young talents. His music still plays, but many fans listen with heavy hearts, wondering what could have been if love had been kinder. 5. PNB Rock, robbed and killed after his girlfriend's Instagram post. Fame brings eyes on you, sometimes the wrong ones. From Philadelphia streets to national charts, our next story shows how one innocent post can turn a romantic lunch into a nightmare. Number 5. The heartbreaking case of PNB Rock. Rakim Hashim Allen, known worldwide as PNB Rock, was a mainstream success story. With smooth melodies and honest lyrics, he scored major Billboard hits and built a career many dreamed of. He was a proud father and openly shared his relationship with girlfriend Stephanie Saibun Hwang. On September 12, 2022, the couple was enjoying lunch at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in Los Angeles. Stephanie posted an Instagram story showing their meal and location, along with PNB's visible jewelry. Moments later, armed robbers entered. PNB was shot multiple times during the robbery. He tragically passed away at the hospital. Stephanie later revealed he heroically pushed her under the table to save her life. The internet lit up with shocking rumors and blame. Many accused the post of painting a target on his back. Conspiracy threads claimed it was more than a random robbery. Stephanie has strongly denied any wrongdoing and shared her grief publicly, calling PNB her hero. 3 people, including a father and son, were eventually charged. PNB Rock's death at only 30 years old shook the entire hip-hop world. Fans replay his songs with tears, remembering not just the artist, but the man who gave his life protecting the woman he loved, only for a single social media post to invite tragedy. It remains one of the most discussed what-if moments in recent rap history. 6. Rahim Grant, shot by his baby mama while recording. Love and cameras don't always mix safely. In the underground Georgia rap scene, some stories are captured on video in the most horrifying way. Number 6 takes us into a domestic tragedy caught in real time, the shocking death of Rahim Grant. Rahim Grant was a local Georgia rapper building his name through raw street storytelling. Like many independent artists, he poured his life into music while navigating complicated personal relationships. He shared a child with his baby mama, and their connection was filled with both love and conflict. In a disturbing twist, Grant was reportedly recording a video, possibly an argument or moment of tension, when the situation exploded. His baby mama allegedly grabbed a gun and shot him multiple times. The horrifying details emerged in court, where she was convicted and sentenced to a lengthy prison term.
Count 10 voluntary manslaughter, be 20 years to serve.
Judge Robert Mack sentenced Harp to 125 years.
Fans and investigators were stunned by the brutality. Some rumors suggested long-standing domestic issues had been building for months. The fact that the incident may have been partially recorded only added to the shock and pain surrounding his death. A young father and aspiring voice in hip-hop was silenced in what should have been a private moment. Rahim Grant's story is a grim reminder of how quickly unresolved anger in relationships can turn deadly, especially when guns are present. His child lost a father, and the rap community lost another promising talent whose full potential will never be known. In quiet interviews, friends still speak of him with heavy hearts, wishing he had found peace before it was too late. 7. Martell DeRouen, shot through the door by his girlfriend. Sometimes the person you trust the most becomes the last face you never see. In the world of up-and-coming Texas talent, where family ties run deep and dreams are chased hard, our next story reveals how a heated argument turned into a nightmare behind a locked door. Number 7. The shocking death of Martell DeRouen. Martell DeRouen, also known as Cardone, was an aspiring rapper and music producer from San Antonio with real potential. He had distant family connections to global superstar Beyoncé, which added extra spotlight to his rising career. At 34 years old, he was separated from his wife and navigating complicated personal relationships while trying to break through in the music industry. On January 26, 2021, Martell was inside his apartment at the Towers complex near La Cantera. His 21-year-old girlfriend, Sasha Skare, was outside. According to trial testimony, the two had been arguing. Scare admitted she took Martell's own handgun before leaving the apartment earlier. In a moment of rage or desperation, she stood at the locked door and fired a single shot through it, striking Martell in the head. He was found in a pool of blood during a welfare check. Sasha later claimed it was a complete accident. She said she was banging on the door with the gun in her hand and it went off unintentionally. But the jury didn't believe her. After a highly publicized trial featuring ring camera evidence and emotional testimony, she was convicted of murder and sentenced to 55 years in prison. Rumors swirled online about jealousy, control, and possible prior abuse. Some speculated the argument escalated because Martell wanted to end things. Friends described him as a talented, kind-hearted man whose life was cut short in one impulsive, tragic moment. His death sent ripples through the local music scene, another promising voice silenced by the dangerous mix of love, anger, and a loaded gun. 8. Tash, murder that shattered a family. When jealousy and rage consume someone completely, the consequences can destroy more than just one life. In the early hours of a new year, a California home became the site of unimaginable horror. Number 8 takes us into one of the most disturbing murder-suicide cases in recent rap history, the final night of Tash. Justin Joseph, known in the rap world as Tash, was a Florida-born California rapper trying to make his mark. On New Year's Day 2022, in Temple City, Los Angeles, the 28-year-old allegedly turned a domestic situation into pure tragedy. His 27-year-old girlfriend, Jeanette Gallegos, a mother of 3 young boys aged 5 to 11, was shot multiple times inside their home. According to investigators and the children's own accounts, Tash carried out the act in front of the terrified kids before turning the gun on himself. The children ran out of the house unharmed and one of them called 911. Police arrived to a devastating scene. 2 bodies and 3 children forever changed. Jeanette was remembered by loved ones as the sweetest mom, a caring woman who didn't deserve such a violent end. Shocking rumors quickly spread online. Some claimed ongoing domestic violence and control issues had been building for months. Others whispered about jealousy-fueled threats. The case horrified the hip-hop community and the public alike, especially because it happened right at the start of a new year, a time meant for hope. Tash's music career ended that morning in the most final way possible. For Jeanette's children, the trauma of witnessing such violence will last a lifetime. This story stands as one of the darkest examples of how toxic relationships can explode with devastating consequences for everyone involved. 9. Billy Adams, the rapper who killed his pregnant girlfriend. Just days after walking free from one serious case, a Tampa rapper allegedly committed the unthinkable. Our 9th story is a chilling reminder that sometimes danger hides behind familiar faces. This is the heartbreaking tragedy of Billy Adams. Billy Bennett Adams III, who performed as a Tampa rapper, had just been acquitted in a double murder trial. Only 3 days later, on January 30th, 2023, police say he lured his 22-year-old pregnant girlfriend, Alana Sims, to a location in New Tampa under false pretenses. Alana, who was expecting their child, was found shot to death next to her car. Her young toddler was found asleep and unharmed in the car seat nearby. Prosecutors claimed Adams devised a plan and carried out the shooting in cold blood. He was arrested and now faces first-degree murder charges along with charges for the death of the unborn child. Court documents also revealed possible gang ties connected to the case. Imagine the betrayal Alana must have felt in her final moments. Carrying his child, believing she was going to celebrate, only to face violence instead. The case shocked the Tampa community, especially because it came so soon after Adams had been found not guilty in another violent incident. Some online rumors suggested deeper grudges or street-related motives, though the court will ultimately decide the full truth. Billy Adams' story raises painful questions about accountability, cycles of violence, and how quickly life can be taken, even the life of an unborn child. Alana Sims and her baby represent innocent victims whose futures were stolen in an act that still leaves the hip-hop and local community searching for answers and justice. 10. Muzik Cali. There are losses that don't merely hurt, they erase possibilities that were just beginning to take shape. In New Orleans, a city that breathes music even in its hardest moments, Justin Lewis, performing as Mad Muzik Cali, had been quietly working to establish his voice in the local scene. Early in 2023, that journey ended in the most devastating way imaginable. His pregnant ex-girlfriend, Rajaee, was found dead, and authorities arrested Lewis on murder charges. She had been carrying his child. Those close to Rajaee remembered how hopeful she had felt about motherhood, the gentle dreams she was nurturing for the life ahead. All of it vanished in a single act of violence that left 2 generations gone. The relationship had apparently grown toxic, filled with tensions that friends later spoke about with heavy regret. Lewis's arrest left the local rap community in stunned silence. People who had followed his music struggled to process the gravity of what he now stood accused of. The sorrow feels especially profound because it claimed not 1 life but 2. Rajaee's family carries the kind of grief that has no end, a daughter and a grandchild taken before either could fully live. In hip-hop circles that often celebrate survival, this case lingers as a painful reminder of how quickly affection can curdle into something permanent and unforgiving. Mad Muzik. Cali's name now exists under a shadow that may never lift, while the questions and heartache for those left behind continue without resolution. 11. Earl Hayes. Sometimes the same fire that fuels powerful art becomes the force that destroys everything around it. Earl Hayes moved through the underground rap world with gritty lyrics that felt pulled straight from lived experience. He had built a following that respected his unfiltered honesty. Yet the private side of his life told a much darker story. In a domestic situation that later appeared in lists of troubling cases involving rappers and partners, Hayes was connected to the killing of his wife or girlfriend. The underground scene absorbed the news with a mixture of shock and deep sadness. What had seemed like artistic intensity now appeared tangled with real turmoil and unresolved conflict. The woman lost her life, a family was left fractured, and Hayes faced serious legal consequences that changed the trajectory of everything he had been building. Friends who once celebrated his talent later spoke about the private struggles they had only glimpsed, wishing perhaps they had seen more clearly. This case became a quiet warning that traveled through underground circles. It showed how the raw emotion artists pour into their work can sometimes overflow into choices with irreversible consequences. Earl Hayes' music still circulates, but for many it now carries an added weight, the knowledge of pain it may have been connected to. The loss remains difficult to accept, a voice silenced not by external forces, but by the kind of inner storm that no stage presence could hide. What remains is a lingering ache for the life that was taken and the potential that will never be realized. 12. Rajaee Black. Not every fall comes from the streets. Some begin in the quiet spaces where relationships are supposed to offer safety. Rajaee Black was grinding in the regional underground scene, releasing street-oriented tracks that reflected the daily realities many independent artists face. He was part of that constant push for recognition while managing personal life. Then came the domestic case that drew wider attention and placed his name among troubling examples of partner violence. Reports described arguments that spiraled beyond control, ending in the death of his girlfriend. The contrast between the artist fans had listened to and the allegations surrounding him created a heavy sense of disbelief. Authorities investigated it as domestic homicide, and the details that surfaced left people who followed his music grappling with difficult emotions. A young woman's life ended far too soon, and with it, another artist's path took a turn that could never be undone. The sorrow for her family and friends runs deep and lasting. They lost someone irreplaceable in a moment that should never have happened. For the broader community, it became one more example of how private conflicts can claim public voices. Rajaee Black's story adds to the painful pattern. Love that was meant to support instead became the source of permanent absence. The ache it left behind continues to echo, a somber reminder of the hidden dangers that can exist even in the most personal parts of an artist's world. 13. Supa Emcee, the Detroit rapper accused in a fatal domestic stabbing. Finally, the illusion of safety shattered completely. In the unforgiving streets of Detroit, where Supa Emcee had been grinding to make his name known with raw, street-heavy lyrics about survival and pain, everything came crashing down on one devastating night. According to police reports and court documents, during a heated domestic argument with his wife, Supa Emcee allegedly stabbed her multiple times. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The woman who had lived with him, shared his struggles, and stood beside him through the grind of underground rap was gone, taken by the very hands that once held hers. The details that surfaced were particularly shocking. Witnesses and investigators described a confrontation that escalated rapidly, filled with long-buried anger, accusations, and uncontrolled rage. Supa Emcee was arrested and charged in connection with the stabbing. The local Detroit rap community was left in stunned silence. Artists who had collaborated with him or respected his hustle could barely process the news. A man whose music spoke of strength was now accused of the ultimate act of destruction inside his own home. For the victim's family, the grief was unbearable. They lost a daughter, a sister, a mother in the one place she should have been protected. Rumors quickly spread about previous arguments and signs of escalating domestic tension that had been ignored or hidden. The case sent a chilling message through the underground scene. Even those who rap about surviving the streets can bring the violence home. Supa Emcee's budding career now lies in ruins under the weight of these serious charges. His music still plays in some corners, but it carries a dark, haunting echo. In the end, this tragedy forces us to confront a painful reality. Sometimes the most dangerous threat isn't outside the door, but the one sleeping right beside you. Another promising voice silenced not by the block, but by a storm of personal demons that destroyed everything in its path. 13 rappers, 13 tragic deaths, all taken by the women they loved. Love turned deadly. Passion became murder. These stories are painful reminders that sometimes the greatest danger isn't on the streets, it's in your own home. What shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more dark, emotional hip-hop tragedies, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.